on the air. You can follow Mother Love on Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Find one somewhere. I'm out there on a form on a platform for you. Well, we've had a very busy weekend, and just wanted to share some things with you about what's been going on the weekend. Well, uh, yesterday, I no, it was Friday. Was it Friday or yet Saturday? Anyway, Saturday we went to a Muay Thai kickboxing event, and I didn't even know what Muay Thai was, and then I found out it's a specific form of kickboxing, and so I went and I actually enjoyed myself. I didn't think I would, but I actually enjoyed myself, and just had the best time. Met some wonderful people out there, and see, I don't get out often enough anymore. And and I know that I gotta be out there. And that's why I'm online with you now, FaceTime, Facebook, and with you stream, our stream, everybody streams. And so I go to the Muay Thai kickboxing, and it was really nice, to be recognized and for people to, sometimes you see people and you go, oh God, I do not want to be bothered with them. Uh, and then it was just so nice to meet some wonderful people. And I want to say hi to Jason, who got us and made sure we were seated comfortably. And we was on the other side of the rope. That's when you're moving and grooving when you're on the VIP side of the event. And it was really, I mean, personally, I think boxing is an insane sport anyway, even though I do love boxing. I mean, I like that. That's how we should decide some of our differences. Put the leaders in a ring and let them duke it out. Oh, that would be hilarious. Uh, to have them duke it out like that. So I mean, these women were like, I mean, I remember long time ago, Spike Lee has said, they asked him, what did he think about our women's basketball? He said, basketball is basketball. I don't care who playing it. And so sports is sports. I don't care who's playing it. But these young ladies were getting into, and they had fights for the fellas too. And it was like standing room only. It was really nice. And we got to see Prime Black perform that's the first time we've ever seen him perform. And so I don't particularly care for rap music, but he's got a few cuts that are really, really nice. Oh, that's a big head. And it this make me look backwards. Okay. And so he explained Muay Thai kickboxing to me because he's a Muay Thai boxer. And he says, it's with your elbows and your arms and your legs and your ankles. And you can't be kicking pretty much like regular boxing, except they don't have shoes on. And they fight with their shoes off. And so it's like, well, that's gonna be a lot of toe jam up there on that floor. They're gonna clean it up before too long. I thought about that too. So we go to the Muay Thai, and okay, see, this is when you have not been out in a long time. And I guess I just had sticker shock because it didn't seem to uh they had a drink list, a liquor list, and every bottle. I mean, I thought it was gonna be like a big giant bottle, but every bottle was $350. Who can drink up $350 worth of alcohol? And you gotta pay 350. No, it gotta get up and do something, sing, dance, do something. I don't care what the deal is, but $350 for just a bottle of liquor, I don't think so. Well, that's just me. What am I talking about? I don't even pay for drinks. What? I don't even pay for drinks. That's why I have a sponsor. Somebody's supposed to be. That's what you're supposed to keep a sponsor. It was something different, and I'm all for learning something different and having different experiences. And if I had to win, I wouldn't have met Kelly and her husband, and they were just. I mean, Kelly and her name's gonna come to me in a minute. Anyway, we had a really good time. I got to see people I have not seen in a long time. People go, wow, Mother Love, where you been? I'm like, I've been on the radio. That's what I do. So, and when they go, oh, we couldn't find you. You were not looking for me. You weren't looking for me. You was looking for somebody else because I got the same phone number. I got the same email address. I am there. All you got to do is pick up the phone. pick up the phone, call me on the digits. And that was another great thing, seeing people I hadn't seen in a long time. I had not seen this young lady, I'm gonna say uh maybe a good 6 or 7 years. I mean, she was still just getting to teenagehood. And the young lady I saw on that day on Saturday was a beautiful grown-up woman. She was just beautiful. And I hadn't seen her. Okay, she hadn't gained a pound from the time she was like 12 or 13. And she's still a little tiny thing, just as sweet as she could be. It was good to see all of them. And me, you know how you go to an event and you know some people at the event, and a lot of times when we go to events, you might know a handful of people, but this has always been my mantra, to be in a space where I have not met people, and my motto is I'm gonna leave this event meeting at least 10 people personally. I made it that my personal business to meet people. And sometimes you just and it was a nice outing, and I had a great time with everybody. I was wore out, when you get to be as seasoned as I am, huh, you got to go lay down. You need to go take a nap someplace. And you all know me, I'm a hugger and I'm a kisser. So I was going around the table and, was hugging everybody. And I had met a young guy that I knew he existed, but I didn't know I had never met him. And so I was hugging and kissing on everybody going around. And I got to him and I went to hug him, and I was like, oh, baby, I'm not going to hurt you. Just the fear in his eyes. It was like, oh, don't touch me, don't touch. I was like, okay, I understand your personal space. I respected him for that. I apologize. And I meant that because I'm not here to frighten anybody. I want us all to have a good time. We get to the soiree, we get there and they have food. That's another thing. I don't eat everybody's food. I used to like cooking out. Going out to dinner and what have you. My mantra was the only thing I want to make that got something to do with food is I want to make a menu. I want to make reservations. That's what I want to make, reservations. And so they said, well, Mother Love, you want to get something? And I was like, okay, yeah, I can nibble on a little something. Okay, and everybody cannot cook. Everybody can't cook. Just like I cannot eat everybody's potato salad. I only know 2 people. Well, I say 3, 4. Okay. My mother, my aunt, one of my aunts, my sister, and my girlfriend out here. She makes potato salad like potato salad is supposed to be made. Potato salad is not smashed up potatoes, they're diced. And your potato salad can get real soggy, And I was like, I don't think I want to eat that. And so they brought the food over, or something, chicken strips. Lord have mercy, I could have broke a tooth. And they just, some places they just overcook it. They don't, like my granddaughter tells me sometime when I'm inventing a dish, she'll go, wait a minute, isn't that too many things in the that you're putting in that? I'm like, no, this is what's gonna make it. This is what's gonna make it lovely. And so and it was just a salad I was making. And she was like, oh, this is the best salad ever. Epic! I made another one yesterday. It was epic. And that's why I'm so particular about eating in certain places, because I know, to me, that is one of the highest compliments anybody could ever, ever, ever give me, to sit at my table and enjoy the food that I've made for them. And, it could be a house full of people and everybody, so everybody gets food. Everybody comes in, we say grace, and then they get, you're still making noise and plates are clanking and what have you. This is when and they know you don't put your foot up in whatever you were cooking. Not my literal feet, people. I'm not saying no. It's a phrase that we say. Girl, you don't put your foot up in this one. And so we had I was talking about the food and the potato salad and all this other kind of stuff. And so we everybody, and it goes from you hear nothing. Everybody got a forkful, a spoonful. Everybody gets quiet, and that's when it's a good meal. When you hear the fork or the spoon hit the plate, and it's empty. Oh my goodness! Oh, something went. Okay, they took the Papa. Okay, he'll come in and check on me, and so we had a really great time, had a really good meal. It was a fun time, was had by all. And well, by me anyway. Well, everybody have a good time when they come over here. Some people they come to your house and you invite them over for dinner or breakfast or whatever. And they bring you a little gift. They bring you a little plant, a little whatnot. And I got a lot of little whatnots all over every place. And I was a big thing came over and this went black for some reason, but now it's back up. Okay, I hope y'all can see me. And so we were in there eating and throwing down and just having a good time. And I'm just being straight up. I just could not eat everybody's, and I felt bad because I hate wasting food. There are times when I'm sitting over my cleaning out the refrigerator, and I clean out every Saturday, because if we haven't been eating it from Sunday to Saturday, it's not gonna make it. It's gonna make it, and I waste. To me, I waste so much, but I don't waste as much as I used to. But there are times I have stood over my garbage disposal and it was just bad. And I'm like, well, you're not gonna eat it, so you can't give it to anybody else. And then with COVID-19, when we would have before that happened, when we would have, our big Sunday dinners, that was pretty much a tradition for me. I want everybody to come over for Sunday dinner, and that way I wouldn't have to cook on Monday. Maybe I have to cook again on Wednesday because I know how to, as they say, repurpose it. They don't call it leftovers anymore. They call it repurposing. What is wrong with my hair? It look insane. Anyway, well, you all know I'm a wackadoo funny person. I love to have fun. I don't take this crap too serious. And so we did that and Muay Thai, and everybody had a good time. And then I've been waiting for them. I don't know what's wrong with the functionality, but it was. People were in my hometown, Cleveland, Ohio. They had a celebration because I don't know if you don't know this, and if you don't know, I don't know what rock you've been up under that you won't know this. I didn't realize that hip hop hit the 50th anniversary. Hip hop. And so the rap median, Cool TLC, who comes on here with me he comes on, he's a funny guy. And he went down, he participated because he too is a part of hip hop history because he is a DJ. He's been a hip hop DJ, and he could spit just right off the top of his head. And I asked him, I said, do you write things down? And he said, well, yeah, if it gets too intricate, I'll write it down. And he's very good. He can remember. He got his flow going. He cracks me up when he calls himself Petty. I'm Mr. Petty. I'm always ready. That's what he said. And so he went down there to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland because they were celebrating 20 years of hip hop disc jockeys. I mean, remember before when it first came out, and you saw people in the playground or in the middle of the street with a piece of cardboard, and they was breakdancing. I mean, everybody wanted to break dance and hold up on one arm. I was like, okay, that's not for me. You know how you need to know what your lane is. You need to know that you ought to stay in your lane. Don't be trying to veer off and go to the side and go try to stay in your lane. And I knew breakdancing was not my forte. Watching them kids breakdance, and I was a much younger woman. I was like, I do that. 25 years from now, I'm gonna need a hip replacement because these fellas and these young ladies could get out there and they would spit and they would get in the rapping battles. And to me, that's when rapping was fun. Well, it was something to get up with and do your thing with, and go out there and you hear your song. Because I got a song. I got a few songs I like. And there are a few rappers that I like, and I really enjoy their music. LL Cool J, he just couldn't do any wrong with me. And so I actually got the chance to meet him. And we were at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. And we were coming out, and he was coming in. And I just went, hey, and he is a big guy. He in good shape. Because this was when I was still a really heavy woman. And we're coming out of Roscoe's, and he's coming in with his group, and I'm coming out with my group. And I went, oh, hey, that's LL Cool J. He said, yes, I am. And you Mother Love, you Miss Mother Love. And I was like, you recognize me? He said, I wouldn't know what you look like, but I recognize that voice. anywhere. He picked me up, literally up off the ground, turned me around like I was just like a little toy. And it was just so great. I mean, he just has the best energy around him. He wasn't superficial. He didn't act all funny, And this guy is on an award-winning show. He's still on an award-winning show, NCIS LA. And to see him and meet him, and he actually stopped and took the time to introduce us to his group, and it was really, really cool. And so I understand especially from an entertainer's point of view. I don't understand why entertainers and celebrities, air quotes, and celebrities go out and they're rude and mean, and they act all surly, and I'm like, you do realize these people that you're being nasty to, they can stop buying your records. They could stop listening to you on the radio. They could go tell their friend, oh, I saw so-and-so and such and such, and he was just he was just nasty. He didn't even want to shake our hand. We couldn't, don't touch me. I'm like, okay, well, what's up with that? Why are you trying to be brand new? And some people try to be brand new. I'm like, I am not the one. I am not the one for you to sit up and try to be funky with me. I ain't gonna call her name, but she's somebody that I know, and I had never seen her like this. And so we went specifically to watch her perform. We go to watch her perform, and she's seen me on multiple occasions. We done hug. I got pictures with her and everything. I don't know what it was. Maybe she was having a bad day. Okay, but when you're having a bad day and you got to go out and perform, I don't care if you're an entertainer. I don't care if you're a sports person. I don't care if you whatever kind of job you get. You don't bring that crap from outside into your job. Either stay where you are till you get through whatever you're going through, but don't come out and take it out on people. People love you and they want to see you, and they might not ever, never see you again up close and personal. And so why would you be mean to them? I just didn't understand. And so anyway, so, she did her thing, and, she came and she sat down. She got I don't know what was in it. She had a glass of something, some kind of beverage. And I walked over to her and I put my hand out. I went, hey, girl, that was that. She was like, literally, she said a very nasty word to me. And she told me, you don't come over here and touch me. I said, oh, okay, got it. And so then I walked away because she didn't want me in her space, and I get it. Sometimes I could be a bit much for people, and that's when I couldn't pull back. So I turned around, and another young lady that was sitting at the table with her, she said, I can't believe you just treated Mother Love like that. And she went, oh, that wasn't Mother Love. That was not. She said, that was Mother Love. Okay, so then she got up and she came over. I mean, I could see her coming over, and I was like, okay, I ain't gonna get into no drama with this woman. So she comes over and she said, girl, I didn't know who you was. I forgot you lost all that weight. And I loved you, and I'm so sorry about my sugar honey iced tea young and her attitude. And I was like, you feel how you feel. You say what you gonna say. Moving on. That's it. And when we were going out the door, when the event was over, we happened to be walking out at the same time. And she put her arm around in my arm, and she said, I am just so sorry. I did not know that was you. I said, if this is the way that you would treat other people, so because even though you didn't know me from Cooter Brown, but you would say, I'm so sorry, I didn't know that was you. So what if somebody comes up to you that you don't know, that is a huge fan of yours, and you act like that? I don't get it, y'all. I don't get it. And I do have my ways, and I get that. When you get to be as seasoned as I am, you get to say what you want to say, do what you want to do, even having crazy curls. And I just don't believe in mistreating people like that. I want to treat people like I want to be treated. I don't care if you the shoe shining guy. I don't care if you're a street sweeper. I don't care what it is that you do. I'm not gonna be judgmental like that. Don't talk to me. You can't do nothing like you. I was like, really? Okay, I'll remember that. Another time, am I talking about people that's been really crappy to me? Yeah, but you got to be able to learn to deal with that and move on with it. I was at a fellow author. This was her first book, and we were backstage. So I just knew everything was going to be cool. I mean, it's a line of people. They only let them come back like 5 or 10 at a time. And so I stood in line, waited my turn. And this was when I was still heavy. And I got in line. I waited for the book, and I was really interested in learning, what she did, and how she did it, and what keeps her going. It was a self-help book, and I'm always looking for help for myself. So just to let you know, I'm always a work in progress. That's what I do. And so I'm standing in line, and I'm waiting for her, and it's my turn. And she signs the autograph, and she looks up and she sees me, and she went, "Oh, here." And I was like, "Oh, I don't need it that bad." And when she tried to throw it at me, and I just got out the line. So when she tossed the book trying to throw it at me, I moved out the way and it hit the floor. And she said, "Aren't you gonna pick that up?" I said, "No. Why would I pick it up? If you the trashy person that wrote this book, this is probably where it need to be, on the floor." And she was furious. She said, "Nobody talks to me that way." I said, ain't it a good so and so and such and such that I'm not nobody or anybody? I'm somebody, and somebody does not want to read your book. And you don't ever have to worry about me talking to you, talking about you, nothing, unless it's in a situation like this." And I was like, obviously she doesn't understand that we're on I'm gonna say we don't. Okay, well, maybe I was on a bigger, higher level because I was doing television, and I had been doing radio since 1984. So she came out and she tells the producer, "I want her off this show. I want her fat patootie." And she ain't saying nothing about no fat patootie. She said, I want her off of this show right now. If you don't remove her from this show, I'm never coming back again." He said, "Somebody go get her stuff. Please, somebody go get her stuff." And I thought they was talking about going to get my stuff. They had all the little stuff that was in the room. They had 2 of the guys came out with her stuff on me. He said, "Okay, you can leave now." So she goes, "Wait, I thought I had another segment." He said, "I know you did. You thought he thought he farted, but I'm just saying." So she started going around telling everybody what a difficult person I was and how I was mean to her. And it went from her tossing the book at me to I almost hit her with the book. I was like, see, when you're lying, you can't keep up with them lies. And if you can keep up with your lies, don't they? Well, I don't know what kind of person that the 45th is, because he's pretty deranged now. And anyway, so he told her, so she went to another show, and I happened to be at this other show. This was like a couple of weeks later or whatever. And so she sees me, and she was, I'm not going out there. I'm not going out there with her out there. They said, "Okay, you can leave." I don't have no problem with that, because she'll know how to fill up that. We ain't even got to worry about, if it's going to be, they'll do this for stretch it. They knew they didn't have to do that with me. They knew that. And we haven't seen her since. I don't wish her any bad news. I don't wish anybody any bad news. We just don't even have to deal with her anymore. And it kind of gets me, when you get to an event and you reach a certain level, and then people want to try to take you down or whatever, tell you, "Oh, you're not doing anything, or you're never going to do this, that, and the third." I was like, okay, where do you get that from? Where do you get that from? I'm just asking. Oh, that went off too. I'm just asking. So when you go out, I don't care if you're as famous as Beyonce and Jay-Z. I don't care who you are. You do not get to mistreat other people and don't think it's going to come back on you. It might not come back on you from them. It might not come back on them or come back on you for a little while. You might have thought that you got by that one. You don't even have to deal with that one anymore. And or people can hold a grudge. That is such a waste of human time. Moments you will never ever get back. Holding on to something happened when you were 17 and you 912 years old, and you still holding that. I remember I had a couple on a show I did a long time ago, and these were I I hope they're still alive and well. Uh, a set of identical twins, and they had stopped speaking many years ago. They used to be like close, and you're twins. They said there's a special kind of connection that a twin has for that other twin, because they feel like it is part of them. I mean, you a bad mama jamma when you got twins and they the same and they got the same face. That's awesome. I think it's awesome when you have two babies at one time. We have twins in our family, and I'm like, so they were. And family, your sisters and brothers can jack you up how you tore up from the floor up. And they had stopped speaking. Let me get it straight. They had a birthday. One of them was having a birthday party, and it was like a big deal. They were having a birthday party, and she just knew her twin was going to be there. I mean, why would you not think your twin is going to be there? Why would you not think that? Okay, so her twin had just got a new job. And a lot of these jobs, you have to have a grace period or a waiting period, or where you have to wait a while. They want to see how it works out, and if you're going to be a good fit. They thought you were a good enough fit to hire you. So now you got to do what you said that you were going to do. You got to do what you said you can do. And so she I know this about to worry me to death. Okay, y'all could tell I'm doing my hair. I just put it on. I'll take it off the door now. So anyway, she was throwing a birthday party, and her twin was gonna come, but she got this job she had been wanting and she had been working for, and they finally promoted her. And it happened to be the same weekend as the birthday party. Well, the one twin that just got the new job, she called her sister and let her know that she had just got the job. We'll say she maybe got the job for the sake of the conversation on a Wednesday. And she called her sister and she said, "Girl, I am not gonna make it. I finally got my job. I got my job. I got the job I wanted." Her sister, she said her sister abandoned her on their birthday, and she couldn't believe that she took a job over me. I'm her sister, I'm her flesh. And I was like, okay, but are you paying her that kind of money that she can already make in a year to come to a birthday party? And you gonna be mad that's like saying you mad at yourself. I'm so mad at myself that I got a good job. No, I'm just so distraught. I'm gonna be the only birthday girl. That would have been a winner for me. Oh, they see that come. Cool. But she stopped speaking to her identical twin sister. And they were so identical, even people in their own family couldn't tell them apart. And so the sister that threw the party, she wanted to apologize to her sister for not coming to the party. So we talking. It got so bad that, matter of fact, their kids had to call into the show to see if they could get it, because maybe they would want to make up with Mother Love. And so she was like, okay, and the cousins barely knew each other. They remember each other from when they were kids, but now they're up in their teens. And her mother, the one that threw the party, told her kids, "Don't you go over that heifer's house. I don't want you to talk to that heifer. I don't want you to talk to that heifer's kid." I mean, she was a sack of heifers. And I was like, is that really necessary? This is your sister, and you want to lead a planet, still angry at her about something that happened that many years ago, that you feel so slighted to this day that you will cut off your own flesh and blood. And sometimes, don't get me wrong, I understand that. You cannot help the family you were born into. You have to roll with the flow. And if you're not rolling with the flow, as soon as you are financially able and stable to move out, do that. Save your ducats to do that. And you got people that could be trying to sabotage you behind your back. And these are people that are in your family. It could be sister, brother, auntie, cousin, uncle. It could be your play cousin, and I just never could understand that. I had a relative. He gone now. Let's have a moment. Moment's over. He was just a low down dog kind of person. Oh, he treated his mother bad. I see, you could tell a lot about somebody when you see how they are treating their own parents, how they treat their brothers and sisters, or do they have a cordial relationship? What's going on? And and they could jack you up. I'm telling you, my older sister, God rest her soul, she gave me such a psychological issue because she told me my mother, our mother, found me on the church step. And my mama said, baby, sweetie, let me tell you something. If I'd have found you, if I saw you on the church step, I'd have kept walking because I got 5 more of you at home. And I was like, well, why would she tell me that? What would she? And I mean, I was broke up. My mother, she got a whooping for that. And I was in the back. I was, hit her again. And I knew that I'm not going to live on somebody else's misery. You do not kick somebody when they down, and especially if you help kick them down. And so we had to learn. I had to learn. One of us were going to have to change if we wanted to have a viable sister relationship. And I love her to this day. There are times when I get ready to go to the phone and say, oh, girl. So I just have to look up, oh, girl, let me tell you this. Oh, let me tell you about this part. You know, because I never know. My mother's been off the planet since 1992. That was a long time ago. I can still hear her. I remember what she smelled like. I still remember my daddy. I still remember my father. And I was 9 when he left the planet. And I could walk into a room and I could tell the difference between a cigarette and a cigar and a pipe. Because they did all of that. All my elders, everybody smoked. And then nobody died from cancer. And most of them died from old age. Or like my father, he dropped dead from a heart attack at 30. Telling a man a joke. They in the hospital together. He telling the man a joke. Got to the punchline, bust out laughing, fell off, dropped dead. They said he dropped dead as soon as he got up off the stool. Just dropped dead. He had the biggest smile on his face in that casket. All he didn't have his eyes open. And my little sister, bless her heart, they had to pick her up so she could look in the casket. And I say, I wouldn't take small children to a funeral. I wouldn't do that. They're going to have enough stuff going on. Then remember, Papa died, or, Mama Sita, she passed away. And yeah, we had a Mama Sita. I know we're not Latino, but we got Mama Sita. I love you. Me senorita. Okay, no, I can't sing. And so I come from the Rainbow Coalition. And so we were all out there gathering, and they picked my little sister up, and she said real loud. Back in the day, you would have a wake first, which I didn't understand. A wake, they're not gonna wake up, are they? This is not, talk about woke. And so they picked her up and showed her our dead father in the casket. And he was, had on his Sunday go to meeting suit. And he said he wanted to. I never even knew that they had this conversation, because why would I? You don't tell a child what you want to be buried in, and you only 30-something years on the planet. Well, he was decked out. Oh my goodness. He had on this really nice navy blue suit, his crisp white shirt, and his tie. And they didn't want the funeral home to press his clothes. So we went to, they got him done, got his stuff done. And once they picked my little sister up, and she went real loud. Oh, Daddy, Mama gonna be mad at you. You sleeping in your good suit. It broke the whole entire funeral up. That was at the wake. So, and you're not supposed to be laughing at a wake. So now they don't have them. Now, well, they do, but it's like if the funeral is at 10 o'clock, they'll have the wake at 9 o'clock. And they'll have the viewing of the body. Why you want to look at somebody dead? Why you want to look at a dead person with clothes on? Where they going? Why you put shoes on a dead person? Where they walking to? I'm just asking. And this one. Why you putting eyeglasses on somebody that can't see? Oh, I'm starting to sweat. See, y'all make me hot. I get excited when I get to talking to y'all. I do. See, this is what happened too. You could have a private summit anywhere. So it was just so funny. And so then we had a repast. And they didn't used to call it the repast. They used to call it you're going to the house for the funeral, for the food. And then they found out they had a name called the repast. And that's where all the people that are not coming, because you need people there, are not coming to the funeral, but they'll be at your house and they'll make sure everybody gets served, everybody's waiting on. That was the older women's seemed like that was their position. Because you could come in to any repast that my family had, and it's bad. I can't even believe I'm going to tell y'all this, but I want y'all to know just how crazy town I come from. Okay, stop laughing, mother. Okay. So you know how you invite people over for dinner and they'll bring you flowers or they'll bring you a bottle of wine or whatever it is that you're opting that they know that the host would like. Our people didn't get that. They would come with containers. They come with the Tupperware. They want to take something home because you know it's going to be enough food to feed about 35, 40 people. And so they would, one lady, we had like those big pans that you put, it was filled with chicken and they had, that was fried chicken. Then he had one with baked chicken and he had greens. And, it was like a spread. Everything to slam your artery shut. And then they sit there and there's always some latecomers. Just about everybody done left. Everybody said what they said and got drunk. There's been some kind of fight in the backyard because somebody claiming to be somebody's daddy and somebody else said, that ain't your daughter, that's my daughter. She been lying to you, and then it was a fist fight. I was like, oh, this is, it was like, we came to expect some fisticuffs, some arguments. Oh, because if they started arguing and they're drunk, it's going to be some fisticuffs. And you got to go pull people away because when they're drunk, they get crazier than they are. And it's bad when you get put out of the repast. Take your plate, get out. Don't be coming in my house acting up like that, making all this noise, sounding like a fool. Get out. So when it's bad when you done got put out of a repast. Now I've been put out of a funeral home. I've been put out of Madison Square Garden. I've been put out of a Beverly Hills hotel. I mean, I've gotten put out of some of the, some nice places, and I'm going to say, okay, Madison Square Garden, no, that was not my fault. Everybody was there. That was not my fault. God rest his soul. That was Isaac Hayes' fault, and he knew it. We were out in the arena, in the auditorium, and it was Gladys Knight and Will Downing. Okay, for me, I mean, that's just like the combo to combos. That's just like that. Because I love me some Gladys Knight, and she knows this. And I love me some Will Downing. And a lot of people had not been familiar with him. And so after he got finished with his set, okay, because I came in and I got there late. I got there and like maybe he had sung already 2 songs because I was at another event. And so I come to the Madison Square Garden, my husband and I. And so we get there, we get seated, and any seat is a good seat if it's going to be a good concert. I knew that was going to be a good concert. So here we are, we're sitting down, and I was like, that's my favorite. That's my guy. I love him. And all I said, I was saying that to the people around me. And then I said, go on, Will, baby, sing it. He said, that wasn't a good thing to do, honey. I said, why? He went 5, 4, 3. By the time he got up to 3, literally, there was a line. And we were like in the, okay, you have the front section, and then there's a aisleway, and then it goes to the back. We weren't sitting on the floor. I'm not sitting on the floor. We were on the main floor. And so, but we were like in the first and second row in the back. There was a whole big, an aisle, right? So I ain't know what was going on. So somebody said, way over there, they was like, oh my God, that's Mother Love. He said, I told you. Why you do that? So this was what was funny. This couple, okay, one of the ladies got a camera. The other lady is conducting traffic on the line. Okay, everybody in a single file line. You want to get a picture with Mother Love? Okay, you get up. We just going to put them on the end right here. He didn't help. He did not help the mayhem. He gets up and he said, oh, yeah, sit right here. And they sit down. And that's when they had the instant pictures. We didn't have, am I going to date myself? Yes, I am. Cell phones were not, they weren't in demand for like the general public. So they had the Polaroid that you could take the picture and you shake the picture and it develops right in front of you. And they were like, well, we want to see it develop. He was like, you sit down, smile, snap, get up. Sit down, smile, snap, get up. And wait a minute. Then I found out homegirl that's got the line going out this way, that way, whichever way. She is collecting $5 a shot, and she getting the money. You want a picture with Mother? $5. You want a picture? And they were coming up off of it. And I was like, wait a minute. You can't be charging them people to pay you $5 for a picture. Man, I don't even know you. And okay, $5. Do I get a cut? I'll give you 50-50. And my husband was like, okay, so by this time, You see the camera flashing with the Polaroid. But by this time, the people that are on the other side of the aisle, they started standing up on the chairs because they wanted to know what all the commotion was about. And so I love you, I love you, I love you. My husband was like, you got to stop. So, I mean, it was a big commotion. The fire marshal came out and said, you have to clear the aisle right now. Just too many people in the aisle. There's a fire hazard. So while he's clearing out the aisle, I see two guys. No, it was three of them. I see three guys that are walking towards us. And I said, honey, don't they look like my detail on the show? Oh, yeah, because I had to have a popo be on the show with me because I never mind why I had to have a popo there. But they were there. And I'm watching two of my guys. These are two retired NYPD detectives, and one guy, he was still on the job, and they walking up, and the fire marshal's clearing out the auditorium, and they go, why am I not surprised it's you? I'm like, what did I do? He said, They had to make everybody sit down. They take me up. They walk me down the aisle, and they're taking me backstage. Okay, so I'm almost to the door on the side where they're going to take me backstage. And one of them has my hand, and one of them is standing behind me. And my left hand, I was cool with it. I felt protected. Some drunk guy grabbed my wrist and tried to snatch this bracelet off my arm that I had just got. We didn't even have it insured. Oh, my God. And so he went to snatch from my arm, and my security guy, he was like, let's go. They literally had to pry his arm. I don't think he was trying to take my bracelet. I think he was trying to take my wrist. Forget a bracelet. And so we go backstage, and I get to meet Will Downey. And we're backstage, and of course, Isaac Hayes has this big grand area, and it's got all kind of everything you want to eat, drink, snack on, picture taking. It was great. We were all back there having a grand old time. And I said, this is your fault. You put me in them seats back there, and what you think I wasn't gonna acknowledge these people? Oh, you somebody told you wrong. It was bad. So when I get back there, he goes, I am not even surprised. Well, let me see if I could do my best Isaac Hayes voice. I'm not surprised that it was you, because you wreak havoc when we were down in the islands. I'm like, shh, what you telling people we were down in the islands together for? What? He was like, we got pictures. I'm like, okay. So they said, I said, well, I want to go out and I want to, go. I met Will Donning and we got pictures and everything. Well, if you've ever been to a Gladys Knight concert, and if you haven't, do that. Put that on your list. Because that woman shows out. So she's mic'd already. So when she comes up, I'm standing at the door. I'm waiting, to say, hey, okay. So she sees me first. She's already mic'd. See, and it's Gladys Knight fault too. I'm blaming you too, girl. All y'all. And so, okay, I did have a big hand in that. But still, I never expected to go backstage with these people, have these people entertain me. I'm entertaining them. And then they were like, okay, you got to go back to your seat. Okay, well, I don't have a seat anymore. Somebody jumped in those seats right away. And they were like, well, this is what the other part of what had happened. Because Gladys Knight was still, she was Mike. Gladys Knight, what did I say? Gladys Mike. Gladys Knight was Mike. So you could hear our conversation. I said, wow, am I talking that loud? I can hear myself. She said, girl, don't worry about it. When we saw each other, we hugged and we kissed. Girl, what you been doing? And it was so good. I wouldn't have missed this for nothing. And you right here in LA. Oh, yeah, okay. So everybody can hear this. And they're going, giving her intro. And they're going, ladies and gentlemen, Gladys Knight. And you hear me and her still backstage, jaw jerking and talking. It was like, Gladys, it's your turn to sing. I was like, oh my God, they put me out. They said, you gotta leave. You causing too many distractions. I was like, me? That's still. So I said, well, if I got to get put out of Madison Square Garden, and they said, we're going to take you out this door so nobody can see you. Oh, no. Oh, no, I want everybody, not everybody. I want everybody to see me getting put out of Madison Square Garden. So I'm going out the front door. Walking down the aisle. I'm halfway down the aisle. I turn around. Gladys is going, this is for you, mother love. I said, I want my own private concert now. Don't get crazy. And this, she talking to me from this. If anybody was there, I couldn't make this up on the bed. So I got these two girlfriends. They pimping me $5 a piece, and I don't know how much they made. They didn't give me a cut because even if they were going to give me a cut, they had taken me backstage already, and that was one of the best non-concerts I had been to. We had a ball because that woman know how to perform. And you know how some people they they're stage performers, and some people can sing, and they have the stage presentation uh of this phone holder, and they stand right in one spot and they don't move. Just that's all you get. Whole big stage. And I said, it's a good thing she got a beautiful voice because I've been walked out of this one right here. And I've only walked out of a couple of performances. I walked out of Jurassic Park. Yes, I did. And everybody just loved it. I said, man and the mastodon were not created to be on the planet together. That's just my thing. And don't you know, this isn't it, I don't know what they call, but the ones that got the little short arm like this and a whole big giant body. I'm like, why would you be scared of something? You shouldn't be in the presence of a mastodon. And they were making it. I was like, I'm leaving. I'm not going. And they said, you walked out of Jurassic Park like I couldn't walk out of a movie that I didn't like. No, just didn't care for it. It was very well done. It was very well done. Just, it wasn't enough to hold this butt in the seat. People went to see it. Everybody had a great time. It's like when I say, I hate, I literally despise, and don't just toss the word hate out the window. Um, I don't care for it. I will not. I don't celebrate it. And I have done it when I was growing up. I had to do it. Because that's what everybody did. You got dressed up in a costume, or your mom or your auntie and they made you a costume, and you went out trick or treating. That's like begging and begging more. So that's just my take. I wouldn't put that off on anybody. I remember we lived in this, big fancy gigantic home, and they were having the little kids that lived in the complex. They were having a Halloween parade. And so I've celebrated it before, but I prefer to go to a grown person event. I don't even like them, so I don't even know. I mean, I've gone. And so they wanted one of the adults to dress up and walk the kids all around the complex because they could trick or treat, and everybody would know that they were safe because we all lived in the same compound. And so I said, I'll do it. I don't even like Halloween. I'll do it. So my girlfriend, I love you. I love her to pieces. She could set up, I make a wedding dress in like 20 minutes and look like she just walked out of David's bridal with the dress. That's how cold she is. So she said, oh, girl, I'll make you an outfit. She said, what you want to be? I said, well, I'm a clown, so make me a clown. She made me she took one of my really good jackets, one of my really good blazers, and it was like bright. Well, it is bright orange because I'm never, ever, ever giving that away. It's going to go in the Mother Love Museum of Fun. So it's this bright orange blazer, and she made me this green sequin vest, and she put the green sequins on the flaps of the jacket. She changed the buttons. She made me, and the lapels were like they have like a harlequin pattern like you see on the court gestures in days of old. And I mean, she laid it out. My jacket had ruffles on it to match my loud pants, and I had a hat this big, and it was bright orange, and it almost matched my jacket. It looked like they had bought that jacket and that hat together. So she had some leftover scraps of the green sequins, and she sewed them on or glued them on this big hat. So they come in one of the husband and wife teams that lived in the complex. They came and it was like, Mother Love, are you ready to lead the children? I said to myself, what have you got yourself into this time, Missy? You gonna write a check with that mouth one day that butt can't cash. So I was ready though. I was ready. I was dialed up. They got the babies, and I've got a line in them. I got them lined up, from the short, the literally vertical challenge. Okay, I know that's short people. From the shortest to the tallest, right? And so one of the kids, baby sister, she's an arm baby, so she can't be up there walking up and down them hills like that. Or it took us 4 hours to get that child. So anyway, She saw saw us walking away from her, and everybody's all in all these wonderful costumes, and everybody was having a good. This baby went to wailing and screaming like somebody took her candy and her bottle of pablum out of the. She went berserk. They didn't know what was wrong with her. They was trying to calm her down. They was trying to see we didn't know what the child was saying. So I said, I think she wants to go on the parade. She said she'll slow everybody down. No, you guys go and have a good time. I was like, get that baby to me. Soon, she wasn't even in my arms, y'all, before she stopped crying. Her mother said, oh, I know I'm bringing her to go to sleep. She was so sweet. She just enjoyed that, and she wasn't big as a minute. It was like carrying a 5-pound bag of potatoes. We think that's heavy. And maybe a 10-pound bag of potatoes. And she was the sweetest thing. Oh my goodness. And they said that, and I hadn't seen them in years. And she told me, we was in a grocery store, and she said, Mommy, that's the lady. And I'm like, well, the lady what? The lady what? She said, all she could remember was my big orange hat. I didn't even know she knew the colors. She said, that's the lady with the big, she got the big hat. And her mother said, you remember that? And she came up to me, because first the baby came up to me, and well, she wasn't a baby by then. But the fact that this kid recognized me, I think that, and even when kids check me, because I have been checked by children before, I don't get it right all the time. And I'll tell them, oh yeah, you're right about that. I told you about the butterfly wings and the fairy wings. They're not the same. So she said, I remember, I know you, we know who you are, Mother Love. And she was like, oh, now you gonna try to be brand new? Yeah, we remember who you were. She said, that little girl just jumped up and down. I said, did y'all let her eat all that candy? Because that's another thing I don't like about Halloween. You're out there begging for candy, begging for sugar. Teeth might fall out when the time you get to 30 because you ate so many sweets. And can you believe how tiny the trick-or-treat candy is? And here in California, where they said this is all across America, did you know that Halloween is the second biggest holiday money-making wise than Christmas? It's second. It's Christmas and Halloween. I would have thought it would have been Christmas, Thanksgiving, and I love Thanksgiving because every one of us, I don't care what your faith is, I don't care. You could be an atheist. I don't care. Even though I ain't no atheist in the foxhole. You're young enough to know that. Find out what it means. And so I don't care. Thanksgiving, we have the Rainbow Coalition. I've had rabbis have dinner with us. We've had pastors that have dinner with us. And it wasn't like, I never even thought it would be like crazy or we would all get into religion and politics. We had a good time. We really had a good time. And this is when I found out he's not my pastor anymore. But one time when one guy that used to be my pastor, we had invited him and his wife over for dinner. And I mean, when he in Sunday school and he up in that pulpit, this guy was on fire for God. I mean, he was the one that brought me back to the church because, it started getting too politically for me. I'm like, I don't think I want you. You're the pastor. Why are you passing judgment on people? Maybe that's what they think when the first 3 letters is pass. I could pass judgment. No, I'm not letting that. I'm not giving that any legs. So anyway, we're out at another event. Okay, and I told you he was the person, and his teachings and his preachings allowed me to be open and to return to church. And I was baptized a Baptist, and I was like, and then you get to be a teenager, young adult, and you're like, I ain't got to go to church if I don't want to. She can't make me get up and go to church. She don't pay my rent. Well, it's a scripture to say, train up a child right. I'm paraphrasing. Train up a child right, and even should he or she, falls by the wayside, because we all fall short of the glory. I'm just saying. This is what he was, the same person that brought me back to the church, and this is what he did. He took me away from the church because, and I know we put our pastors up on, and our clergy and our rabbis and, our imams, we put them up on a high pedestal, a very high pedestal, because, well, some of us, like me, I'm like, I know I'm not going to get to that point. And so we had an outing, and I'm just see y'all make me hot. So we have an outing, and it's an overnight stay. We went to a weekend retreat, and so he was part of the retreat. So he says, "Oh, girl, come on down. Come, you come on. Y'all can come on over to my room." And so I walk into the room. I'm knocking on the door. Walk into the room. He's answering the door. He's got on a sleeveless tank top t-shirt. He got on some ugly underwear. That's what he was in. He was in his t-shirt, his underwear, and he had socks. And they used to make men's socks, these clips that you put on to keep the socks from falling down. He had them on, and his house shoes. And when he stepped away, he said, "Girl, come on in. Pour you a drink." I'm like, "Oh, what? You got water? You got Kool-Aid? What you got?" He said, "Oh, you pick what you want." He got a full bar. Full. Top shelf bar. When I came around the corner to the room, I see this woman that is not his wife, and she's sitting up in a negligee. And I'm like, "Oh, I am not getting ready to be a part of this." I'm like, and I said to the chick, I said, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself." Why do I need to be ashamed of myself? Because you messing around with a married man, and he got kids. When they almost said this in stereo. "Well, today I ain't married." I left it alone. I left it alone. I didn't say anything else about it. And I was like, and I remember one time she said, I saw, she said, "Are you ever going to tell his wife?" I'm like, "Tell his wife what? That ain't none of my darn business. I don't have to tell any. That's some crap you got to live with. And that's something that you got to live with. And don't you know that following," I know what, I was wondering how come I couldn't see, have my glasses on. And we went and it was just awful. And he said, "Oh, that ain't no never mind. That ain't gonna stop me from preaching the word of God." I said, "Well, already you a liar because you going on your wedding vows." And he goes, "Oh, you one of them, huh?" I said, "One of them what? One of them women that believe in her vows. You gonna stand in front of God and everybody, and you an ordained pastor. You got children. This is the first lady of the church, and this is how you being rude and disrespectful to her." He said, "She don't know anything about this. Are you gonna tell her?" That's what he asked me. "Are you gonna tell them?" I'm like, "Oh, they fogging up." See, I done got myself. It's bad when you can work your own self up. Well, it's always good to be able to talk to you guys, get some things off my chest. I'm trying to make it work. I'm trying to make it happen. Remember, follow Mother Love, the Mother Love Show on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on the YouTube channel at the Mother Love Show. That's it. We are on follow us on all platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at the Mother Love Show. Peace and blessings, and know that we love you. We love you dearly. We love you openly. And there's nothing you could do about that. Sometimes y'all could just come on in. I'll give you the number. It's not a number. It's a link. See, I'm working with the technologies. I'm gonna get the technologies. That's what I'm gonna do. So just know, like I know, no matter how big or tall, short or small, thick or thin, it matters not what skin you're in. Everybody needs some mother love now and then. I love you, babies. All day, every day. I love you, honey.